All right, we're on. Michaela's out of the house showing homes and becoming just a rock star real estate agent. Cameron, our oldest, is off with his granddad in California having a summer adventure. So it's just you and me, and the twins are just down for a nap. I thought I'd take this rare moment of tranquility to tell you a little bit about what it's like to be a blind dad of a 10-year-old and twin 2-year-old toddlers. First, I gotta tell you, it's absolutely amazing, no matter how frustrating or difficult or scary it gets at times. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I didn't really have an opportunity to be a dad for the first couple of years of Cameron's life. He's now 10, but I was just about to deploy when he was born. And then 8 months later, I was injured. So after he turned 2 years old, I was in the hospital getting surgeries, and for months there after, I was learning how to be a blind guy. I was actually inpatient at various hospitals for nearly a year. All the while I was missing Cameron's first couple of years of growth, of learning, of discovery. I'm very thankful that I'm here today and I get to do the best I can at being a father. And now we've got these twins, Owen and Wyatt, who are the best challenge I think I could have ever undertaken. These kids are so smart, and they're growing so fast, and they're big boys. The doctors say they're in the 90th percentile for size at their age. And let me tell you, we put child safety locks on the cabinets so they couldn't get in and just destroy the whole kitchen. And one of the boys ripped the handles right off of the kitchen cabinet and came over and handed me the child safety lock. Like, here you go. Let's try something new. Another time, I think it was the other baby, actually broke the child safety lock. That's not supposed to happen. These boys are strong. In fact, they're strong enough to smash that like button. See what I did there? Anyways, they're getting smart too. As they grow, you're just trying to keep up with them. At first you're able to wrap them up in a swaddling blanket and know exactly where they were at all times. But these boys started doing that Incredible Hulk thing and started busting out of their little baby straitjackets. And then they start rolling around, learn how to crawl, and then it's off. Then they start getting up on their feet. And then it's all over. They're all over the place. They've gotten so smart that I know at least one of them has learned how to climb out of their crib. And we learned this because I kept putting them in and kept popping right back out. I was trying to figure out how this was happening because their cribs are end to end, and they just fit into their nursery like that. So they've got walls on either side and behind them. So one side of the front of the cribs are lower, and the back of the cribs against the wall have these headboards. First thing I decided to do, discuss with Michaela, we decided that we would just turn the cribs around so that the big headboards were out, which made it actually kind of a pain in the butt to get them into the crib because I needed to get a step stool, and then I was almost dropping them down into the crib. But that didn't work because I would drop them in, go back out of the nursery, and a moment later, one of the little dudes would start walking right back out. So we turned the cribs back around and tried to figure something out. In the process of turning the cribs around a couple times, I realized just how rickety these cribs were. I mean, they were installed, they were put together, and they were nice and sturdy, but because of these boys jumping around inside the cribs, they really worked these cribs loose. I'm going to have to get back in there with a screwdriver before the whole thing is, collapse. Thanks to my sister, who has little ones of her own, we discovered that there's a tent that you can put over the crib, and it goes down around the mattress, essentially turning the crib into a cage. But seems to do the trick. At least it worked for a couple months until one of them, our little Houdini, learned how to work the zipper. So you just get a little finger in between the two zippers when they come together, and then just rip the whole thing down. And that fly would open right up. So I put two little keychain loops on each of the, put a keychain loop on each of the zipper pulls, and then a carabiner around it. So now they're locked in their cage. And so far, neither has figured out how to escape yet. But I have a sneaking suspicion that at least one of them has found a titanium spark of mine and is digging a tunnel out of the house. This is the terrifying part. It's amazing that they're growing and they're learning every single day. But they learn how to work the doorknobs, and they learn how to work the oven and the range knobs. And then they figured out the deadbolts, and anytime they want, they could just run right out the door. So thankfully, I put my Sergeant Daddy hat on and try to do my best impression of a drill sergeant and tell them to get in the house right now. And I'll hear one of them sadly say, "Inside," and start, pedaling back into the house. I hope that lasts. They haven't learned, I don't believe they've figured out that Dad's blind. They do know that I'm a little bit different. I know they realize that I move and behave differently than everybody else around them, because they come up, and if they want my attention, they have to slap me on the thigh or on the back and tell me they're there. And if they want me to look at something, they have to put it in my hands. So that's what they do. So they're figuring it out. But I don't think they quite grasp the concept of blindness yet. I remember when I got out of the hospital and Cameron started learning that I was blind. If he got in trouble, I'd say, "Cameron, come here right now." And instead of coming, if he didn't want to, what he would do is try to become invisible. So I would say, Cameron, come here right now. And he would plaster himself against one of the walls. And he would literally put his arms out like this and try to melt into the wall. Then he would hold his breath. So I would hear. So all I'd have to do is wait. There'd be Cameron holding his breath. And then, I got you. And Cameron would go, no, and start running. But by then I'd found him. And I'm sure these guys will learn quickly enough. But all the same, I'm learning how to be a dad each day. It's just a great experience. We try new things. And I think I'm relearning a lesson from when I was their age. These guys aren't afraid of failure. That a baby's whole life is a series of failure after failure after failure. They try, they fall down, they hurt themselves. Maybe they cry a little bit, but they get right back up. They don't realize that they're supposed to quit. So they just keep going. And then they learn. And they've got that skill. And they move on to the next thing. That's terrifying for their mother and me, but they just keep trying. They don't realize that maybe that's something that they're not supposed to do. That's something that is not right according to societal rules. Maybe it's not right according to the laws of physics. But they try, and they fail, and they move on. And they learn. And I think that's something that we've forgotten. We learn to be afraid of trying and failing. Somewhere along the way we were taught that failure is not something that we're supposed to do, so we don't try, and then we limit our own potential. My boys, all three of them, expand their potential every single day. I can't wait to find out what kind of people they turn into, because they're already amazing little kids. If you like what I'm talking about, if you'd like to hear more about being a blind dad or blind cook, or just, about Aaron and family in general, I'm going to continue to post. If you would, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and that little notification alarm. If you would, smash the like button. Okay. If you'd like to hear more about life as a blind man, blind dad, blind entrepreneur, wounded veteran, family guy, or just like hearing stories about the Hale family, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. Thanks, and I'll talk to you again soon.